Imagine that first whiff of earthy mushrooms mingling with the salty whisper of seaweed, a symphony of aromas that dances through your kitchen like a promise of flavor explosion. Then, the moment your tongue meets that perfect sprinkle, deep, savory waves crashing over every bite, turning ordinary meals into unforgettable feasts. That's the enchantment of umami. And today, we're crafting it from scratch. Umami, often called the fifth taste, alongside sweet, sour, salty, and bitter, was first identified in the early 20th century by a Japanese chemist named Kikune Ikeda. While studying the broth from kombu seaweed, he isolated glutamic acid, the compound responsible for that mouth-filling savoriness that makes foods like ripe tomatoes, aged cheeses, and soy sauce so irresistible. This discovery in 1908 revolutionized our understanding of flavor, rooting umami deeply in Japanese cuisine, where dashi, a stock made from kombu and bonito flakes, has been a cornerstone for centuries. But umami isn't confined to Asia, it's universal, appearing in Italian Parmesan, French stocks, and even the caramelized crust of a well-seared steak. Historically, cultures around the world have chased this elusive depth without naming it, from ancient Roman garum, a fermented fish sauce, to the slow-simmered bone broths of European peasants. In modern times, umami has become a buzzword in kitchens everywhere, thanks to the rise of molecular gastronomy and chefs like Heston Blumenthal, who blend science with art. By making our own umami seasoning spice blend, we're tapping into this rich tapestry, creating a versatile powder that elevates everything from popcorn to grilled vegetables, all while honoring the natural synergy of ingredients that amplify each other's strengths. Yet, so many home cooks stumble when trying to harness umami at home. One common pitfall is relying solely on store-bought MSG crystals, which can deliver a one-note punch that's overwhelmingly metallic if overused, lacking the nuanced layers that come from whole foods. Another mistake is haphazardly mixing ingredients without considering their moisture content or freshness, leading to clumpy blends that lose potency quickly or develop off flavors from improper storage. I've seen eager foodies toast spices too aggressively, burning the delicate compounds and turning what should be a savory elixir into a bitter disappointment. Or they skip balancing the glutamates with the nosinates and guanolates, those magical nucleotides found in fish and mushrooms that multiply umami's impact exponentially, as proven by sensory science studies. Our method sidesteps these issues by starting with high-quality, dried whole ingredients, gently processing them to preserve volatile aromas, and incorporating a thoughtful ratio that draws on food chemistry principles. This ensures a blend that's potent yet harmonious, shelf-stable for months, and free from the artificial additives in commercial versions. By understanding the why behind each choice, you'll avoid the frustration of flat-tasting experiments and instead produce a seasoning that reliably transforms meals. Let's embark on this flavorful journey together, transforming simple pantry staples into a powerhouse blend. Begin by gathering your dried shiitake mushrooms, about a quarter cup's worth, their caps wrinkled like ancient parchment, releasing an earthy perfume when crushed. These mushrooms are umami bombs because they're packed with guanolate, a compound that enhances glutamate's effects, making flavors linger longer on your palate, as research from the Umami Information Center explains. Next, reach for a handful of kombu strips, roughly 2 ounces, with their subtle oceanic scent that hints at the sea's bounty. Kombu is the original source of Ikeda's discovery, rich in natural glutamates that bind to taste receptors, creating that satisfying fullness without needing extra salt. Tear them into smaller pieces to make grinding easier, feeling the slight crispness under your fingers. Now, add in a tablespoon of bonito flakes, those feathery shavings of fermented skipjack tuna that crumble like delicate paper. Bonito brings in inosinate to the party, another nucleotide that synergizes with glutamate to amplify umami up to 8 times, according to flavor chemistry experts. If you're vegetarian, swap this for a bit more shiitake or some dried porcini for a similar boost. To round out the base, incorporate a teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder. Their dehydrated forms concentrate the allium's natural sugars and sulfurs, which caramelize subtly during toasting to add depth without overpowering. Garlic's allicin compounds contribute a pungent warmth, while onions provide a sweet, savory backbone, both enhancing the Maillard reaction in whatever dish you season. Preheat your oven to a gentle 250 degrees Fahrenheit, spreading these ingredients on a baking sheet lined with parchment for even exposure. This low heat is crucial. It dehydrates any residual moisture slowly, preventing scorching that could denature the precious amino acids. As the oven warms, you'll notice the air filling with a toasty, nutty aroma, like walking through a forest after rain mixed with the brightiness of a seaside market. Bake for about 15 minutes, stirring halfway through. Listen for the soft rustle of the flakes and the faint crackle of the seaweed crisping. This step intensifies flavors through gentle evaporation, concentrating the umami elements without introducing bitterness, a trick borrowed from traditional Japanese drying techniques. Once cooled, transfer everything to a spice grinder or food processor, feeling the cooled pieces crumble slightly between your fingers, their textures now brittle and ready to pulverize. Pulse in short bursts to avoid overheating, aiming for a fine powder that resembles sandy soil. Too coarse, and it won't dissolve evenly in dishes. Too fine, and it might clump from static. Here's where we layer in the enhancers, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast with its cheesy, nutty profile from deactivated yeast cells loaded with glutamates, perfect for vegan umami. Sprinkle in a half teaspoon of smoked paprika for a whisper of smokiness that mimics the depth of grilled meats, its capsaicins adding a subtle warmth that stimulates saliva production, heightening all tastes. Add a pinch of white miso powder if you have it, or a teaspoon of soy sauce powder, both fermented wonders that introduce bacterial byproducts, amplifying savoriness through proteolysis, the breakdown of proteins into amino acids. For balance, include a scant teaspoon of dried tomato powder, made from sun-dried tomatoes ground fine, bringing acidity and natural sugars that counteract any potential over-saltiness, while their lycopene adds a healthful antioxidant boost. Finally, a dash of black pepper, not just for heat, but because piperine enhances absorption of other flavors, making the umami pop more vividly on your tongue. Grind it all together, inhaling the complex bouquet that now swirls. Mushroom earthiness, sea salt tang, subtle smoke, and herbal undertones. Taste a tiny pinch. It should coat your mouth with a lingering savor, not immediate saltiness. Adjust with a bit more seaweed if it's too mild, remembering that umami builds subtly. To store, funnel this golden powder into an airtight jar away from light and heat where it can mature like a fine wine, flavors melding over days. This blend isn't just seasoning, it's a science-backed enhancer where the trio of glutamate, inosinate, and guanylate creates a multiplicative effect, as studies in the Journal of Food Science illustrate, making even simple broths taste profoundly rich. And now, the moment of triumph. Sprinkle this homemade umami magic over a steaming bowl of ramen, watching the powder dissolve into the broth, transforming it into a silky, depth-filled elixir. Or dust it on roasted vegetables, hearing the slight sizzle as it hits the hot surface, crisping edges to perfection. Take that first bite, the crunch of caramelized carrots yielding to a burst of savoriness that dances across your taste buds, leaving you craving more. The satisfaction is palpable, a warm glow of accomplishment, knowing you've unlocked flavors that rival any gourmet store. This DIY umami spice blend is worth every moment because it empowers you to customize your kitchen's soul, saving money while avoiding preservatives and deepening your appreciation for food's hidden sciences. It's a gateway to bolder cooking, turning everyday meals into sensory adventures. What's one ingredient you think screams umami in your favorite dish?